Howdy folks, this is Checkers back again with another episode on getting started in No Man's Sky. We're back with episode 2. We've just, in our past episode, figured out how to survive by charging important things with elements like oxygen, sodium, and carbon for our mining beam. And now we are going to progress with the story bit and figure out how to fix the burning ship. So, let's come on over here and check out this distress beacon, which will happily eat into your sodium and oxygen. Scenario iteration number deleted, boundary separation failure likely, vessel 16 emptied, cause sentinel intervention, deliberate transfer, analysis, fresh iteration generated, anomaly containment prepared. Broadcast, sure, why not? Because leaving would just put us back where we started. Broadcast received, traveler anomaly detected, anomaly is compliant, position logged, system integrity scan initialized. Well, wasn't that exciting? I don't know what it means either, but it tells us now to go investigate the crashed ship. Radiant Pillar BC. Well, we have a boat. Iteration number long, online. Atlas connection, intermittent. Launch thrusters, offline. Pulse engine, offline. I find myself alone on a strange world, unequipped and in danger. I have no memory of how I got here, no sense of a before. But this ship at least seems to recognize me. The controls react to my touch, or at least to that of my exosuit. I am not dead yet, and this ship is a lifeline out to the stars. Read log. Log 4925A, unavailable substituting data, because making it up as we go along is obviously better than the truth. Anyway, exosuit connected, suggestion, pilot should perform maintenance, suggest desired repair path, repair ship systems, we do that. Self-guided repair protocols initiated. Okay, so we need to fix our pulse engine. For that we need a hermetic seal and metal plating, one of each. And our launch thrusters are also damaged. If we open our inventory, we can look at our starship here, our pulse engine. We see that it needs the metal plating and hermetic seal. Our launch thrusters need pure ferrite and dihydrogen jelly. Okay, so we can exit out of that and exit our ship. And we finally have a save point for the first time. Don't leave the game until you've actually saved, or everything you've done will be gone. So, repair the pulse engines. So metal plating we might actually be able to do right now. First we can use this geode by using E on it. That will give us a little more ferrite dust. To create something, to craft a product, you click on an open tile, click on the thing you want. Ferrite dust is required, 50 of 50. We have that, so now we have a metal plate. If we came over to our starship and our pulse engine, we could apply the metal plate, but we still need the hermetic seal. So I imagine we will get a tutorial guidance to now go back on the ship. Iteration, yes, yes, yes. Number functional. Starship critically damaged, we already knew that. Vital ingredients are missing, yes, we know that too. Unable to synthesize required components. Pulse engine requires hermetic seal. Well, we'd like assistance with that, please. Recommendation. Iteration comparison reveals hermetic seal nearby. Salvage planetary chart from distress beacon cache. Alrighty then. Okay, we will hop on out and check out our distress beacon here. Using that, again, the default would be E. To back out of things mostly on PC is right-click. I peer inside the beacon's housing, as well as its distress broadcast unit. It contains a planetary chart. Take the planetary chart. And now we can open our inventory, and we find our planetary chart. We press the E key to use. Basically, I just haven't remapped that one, so huzzah for that. And now we have a new waypoint. All we have to do is survive to get there, which is why I recommend collecting all the sodiums and oxygens. So we'll run a scan again just to see if there's anything else along our way. We could probably grab some more ferrite dust and carbon just to be on the safe side. We can't quite analyze things yet, but we can still fire our mining beam at things to see if they'll give us carbon or ferrite dust or what have you. We'll always see the primary component, the primary element. Alright, so we can use our jetpack to get a little bit over these things. And once again, this is a hazardous plant. There's this. There's one that looks like a kind of coiled scorpion tail, one that looks like a Venus flytrap, and some others that produce toxic gases. If you scan for them, in general, they'll show up as a red exclamation mark. Here we have some more oxygen. We'll grab that. And you'll also get audio cues like that little crunchy sound that warned me I was right next to something that was going to explode. Okay, well, this is a nice little outpost, but where we're going is further along. But since we're here, let's check some things out. We can search containers like this one by just using it. We get an ion battery. This one is a damaged container. If we use it, we will be prompted to fix it. In this case, we just need to remove this rusted metal. That's pressing the middle mouse button down on PC to discard, and it will open. Other things will require you to, basically like the Starship, apply elements or things. We are in a bit of a storm here, which is going to take our environmental protection down, but we can go into a building and that will stabilize us. We can use things in some of these buildings like this to extract nanites. Accessing archive, 607 logs corrupted, entry 4924A follows. No one making this recording in case leaving behind a fabricator might be of some use. Visor damaged, can't find ship. I think this is going to let us get our hermetic seal here. Huh. It did. We got our hermetic seal without actually having to go to the waypoint. Well, imagine that. Look for one of these, if you're lucky enough to find one on your path. Otherwise, we would have had to have wandered all the way out to that waypoint, which I think is usually about a kilometer or so away. You can search plants in some structures and get some extra carbon. And look for these sort of cubish or diamond-shaped things, which will give you navigation data or nanites. Okay, there is another structure here. Since we didn't have to go all that way, let's see if we can get inside. There's a landing pad. Handy thing about landing pads like this in No Man's Sky is they make it easier to land, but also easier to take off as they don't use your launch thruster fuel. Alright, this is our multi-tool. Looks like this. Some of these buildings have this, which will allow you to upgrade. Potentially, if you have the money and the things to do it with, we can compare it to ours and see that, well, it has 5 more slots than ours, but it also costs 580,000 units, of which we have 0. So, mainly it's just fun to look at. This, we can extract some nanites, which is what I thought we would do the original time. Oh, no, it wants to give us another hermetic seal. Look at that. This terminal just gives hermetic seals at this stage. Well, sure, why not? Who knows? We might need another one. And sure enough, we have 2 hermetic seals. This is a galactic trade terminal. Not really important to survival, but will allow you to buy and to sell items. So we could sell, say, one of those hermetic seals for 16, well, probably 826 there. Anyway. But you can actually make some pretty decent money on the galactic trade terminal there. Sometimes these fellows will have those little cube or diamond-shaped objects with navigation data. Otherwise, this is a merchant who will sell you blueprints, many of which you will get if you follow the quest line. We could also have bought hermetic seal. And components. So those were the components, and these are the blueprints we could buy. But like I say, you'll get many of those if you follow the quest line. You can always search these red boxes unless they're open. We'll get some more oxygen, and this fellow will probably have some sort of quest or offering for us. As I approach the electronic life form, they instinctively start to analyze me from head to foot. They chitter animatedly, their head tilted to one side. They must see few novelties on this bleached, sun-blasted world. Chumayutski, Metyeva, Fitsuar, Vilitz, Nazaiva, all of that he said right there. I mime that I know little of their kind or how to communicate. In response, the lights in the mask flash a repeated series of 3 building in intensity. Well, I can't give him any of those, so I give him that. His lights flicker with mild disappointment. Nevertheless, they rest their hand on my visor and thank me with the transfer of language. And we learned the Korvax word for Korvax. And take some carbon from their plant. And now try and figure out where our starship is. Use the analysis visor 4 to locate the starship. But we can't do that because it's broken. So we need carbon nanotubes. Okay, so what we do is come to our exosuit. Once again, we want to craft, so we click on a tile, click on carbon nanotubes, come to our multi-tool. We want to install technology, so instead of clicking on it right now, we're going to press the letter E, which is the default key, and then click on Analysis Visor. We have our carbon nanotube, so it will allow us to apply it. And now we have an analysis visor, so we can look at the world around us, which goes a little better if you've already scanned it. We've already done that, but we'll do it again. And we can see our starship. We can, I believe, hold the letter E down. Oh, no. Oh, we placed a custom marker somewhere around our ship, but at least in the general vicinity. Usually, if you look at, say, something like this copper deposit, we could hold the letter E and it will create a ring around it and make it a waypoint we will always see, at least until we get there. Alright, anyway, let's get that off our screen with a right click and we will head back to base. I like to run, but if you run for too long, you get exhausted. You recover faster if you stop running. A little jump from your rocket pack will get you sort of to cease running in the most efficient way, I think. And we will run back towards our starship. Hermetic seals in hand, plural, because, well, why not? Alright, let's repair our pulse engine. We can hop in the boat to do that. Press our inventory. Pulse engine gets a hermetic seal. We back out. And again. And now we've got to do the launch thruster. We need pure ferrite, which is a refined form of ferrite dust. Okay. So, we also need dihydrogen jelly. Remember those blue crystals we talked about, I think, in the last episode? We're going to need some of those now. Alright, let's get that off the screen. And we are going to be able to make a portable refiner. I saw the dust on the ground. It's like somebody's landing here. Alright, anyway. Let's soak up some dihydrogen crystals. This is pure ferrite, but we need an advanced mining laser to be able to mine that. However, we can mine up some ferrite dust, which, if you followed along from the last tutorial I recommended, that's fascinating. I've never seen that before. Are you going to do that too? No, just that one rock wants to run away. That is so awesome. Rock, where are you going? Why don't you show up on my scanner? Anyway. Oh, look at that. We have some oxygen here. Just for that whole pesky survival thing. Okay, so... that's not... No, that's not either. Sometimes telling the rocks you can mine from the rocks you can't is a little bit challenging. But there we go. Okay, so... For this, we need pure ferrite by 50 and dihydrogen jelly by 1. Dihydrogen jelly we can make. We're going to use this geode with the letter E here. That'll give us more ferrite dust. We actually have a dihydrogen jelly, but we should be able to click on a slot. We would see that we need 40 of the crystals, of which we have 17. Also, if you want to make something you already have, like this, dihydrogen jelly, if we had the number of crystals we needed, we could just hold down the letter E and it would allow us to make more. Let's take a quick look around. There is some more dihydrogen. Dihydrogen can also be used for your launch thrusters. It can provide the fuel to get you off the ground, so having some is not a bad thing. Uranium will do it without any further processing, but dihydrogen is a lot easier to get a hold of, unless you're on a radioactive planet, than uranium. Alright, so how much do we have now? 48. Okay, and we got 2 crystal fragments. We can again use E on these, and we're up to 125 dihydrogen. Now, we need to make the refiner so we can get our pure ferrite. Let's pick up a little bit more ferrite dust just to be on the safe side. Always better to have more than less. Okay, and we want to take a look at our exosuit. We're not getting dangerously low, but let's just recharge. Oxygen and sodium. Okay, and now, to build things, you need to use the build menu, which I think defaults to Z. Mine is something else. So we need to make a portable refiner. For that, we need a metal plating. So we come back to our inventory, exosuit, click on a tile, click on metal plating. We open the build menu again, default Z, I believe. Or if you're on console, I'm not sure, I'm sorry. But we select from technology portable refiner, although we don't have many choices here. Now we use the portable refiner with the letter E, or in my case left arrow. We need fuel, which is carbon. You want to hang on to your condensed carbon if you can. If you don't have any choice, you can use it. We want to put in our ferrite dust, and we will begin to make pure ferrite. If we did it, it's 1-to-1, so we'd get 305 out of the 305 we have, but we just need 50, so we'll get to 50-ish and stop. To take it out, click on it. It will ask you, do you want it in the exosuit or the starship? We'll say exosuit, same with the ferrite dust. To pick up our refiner, hold down the middle mouse button, and it's back in your inventory. So now we have what we need. We have our dihydrogen jelly. We have our pure ferrite. We come to our starship. Click on the launch thrusters. Apply the dihydrogen jelly. Apply the pure ferrite. And we have a functional boat. Huzzah! Oh, and if you ever want to take these waypoints off, I believe you just hold down E again. No? Alright, well, you have a permanent marker. Well, at least until you go somewhere else. Anyway, all systems are functional. We return to our ship. Important safety tip. If you want to save, step out of the ship. It's a temporary save. It's more like an autosave. Occasionally, well, very often when you're in a position like that, you'll see something that looks a little bit like this light, but slightly more complex. It's a save point. Click on that. That's what the game considers a hard save. There are also items that you can make, save beacons and save points that will create them. But when you go into your ship, you do not save. You save when you exit. Restore point saved. Okay, so we go into our ship, and we can now launch. Our thrusters are down to 25%, and it tells us to seek answers among the stars. Off we go, like a herd of starship. And hey, look at that, we discovered a system. Look at us go. Kind of a pretty colored system, actually. Okay, test starship systems, test flight controls and thrust. Okay, not really sure how we do that exactly, but okay, we did that. Tested boost with this, we can do that. And test the pulse engine. Okay, let's see. We can scan with our ship just like we could scan on the planet. There's a verdant planet. Let's set our pulse engine to take us there. And we can just back on out now. Whoa! And we can play asteroids while we try to save ourselves. Okay, quick menu time. Pressing the 9 key. For me, your mileage will unquestionably vary. Answer the Starship communicator. Incoming transmission. Source 4925B. Please identify yourself. I'm... Okay, sure, identify self. You are not... It's true, I am not... Alone. Follow the... Okay. The broadcast ends as strangely as it began. The final piece of the signal appears to be a set of planetary coordinates. Input coordinate data. Well, there we go.
Navigational data received.
So it wants us to go down here. Here we go. Towards that ringed planet. But I think we will stop here as we've gone quite a while in just figuring out how to get our starship moving. Before we go, one last thing about asteroids. As we break up these asteroids, we get gold, we get silver, we get tritium. There we got a tritium hypercluster. And somewhere in this pile I saw one. Platinum tends to look a little bit different. Not always, but sometimes. In this case, this star-looking crystal is platinum. So if we look at our starship's inventory, we now have platinum, a gold nugget. If we use that with the E key, we get more gold. The tritium hyperclusters, we use those, we get more tritium. Why does that matter? The pulse engine runs on tritium. So if you're in need of getting from A to B inside a system quickly, you use your pulse engine. To fuel the pulse engine, all you need to do is break a few rocks so that if you run out of tritium, it's never far behind. And if you want to make some early game money just by having a little asteroids fun, you can also sell your gold, silver, and platinum. Alrighty folks, this has been Checkers with a look at getting started in No Man's Sky. This time we took a look at how to repair our spaceship and fuel it and make a little extra money. Alrighty, I would like to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you found the video informative and maybe even just a little entertaining. I would like to, well, invite you to tell me if you'd like to see more. Pretty much from this point, you could play the game and do well on your own, but if you'd like to see more of the tutorial, more of how to get along with things, please let me know in the comments. I would like to say thank you so much for watching, and invite you to like and share if you so desire. Most of all, though, I would like to ask you to please take care.